Hey ballers, it's Horton, and you know, the whole box thing. I got a box. We're gonna talk about it in a minute. But you know, a couple days ago, Radar released the 2025 Vapor on what they call Vapor Day. I kind of love that, it's fun. But so before I open that, and I don't know, I've never seen the 25, it's got the new colors, whatever. Before I open that, I wanna talk about some of my favorite Radars. So this thing, the old MPD, first ski I ever ran 38 off on. I had to ask the wife because it was the summer that we met, and I think that was 07. So if the Radar guys tell me I got my dates wrong, I apologize. But the old MPD, you can have this thing, we can take it from my cold dead fingers. I love this thing. And then we go through, like actually before the MPD, they had the Stratas, and I don't know if this is the very first one. This one's actually my wife's. This was actually a 65, I think. But I had one of these too, loved it, loved it. Lots of these were around Ski West when I was skiing there. And then really probably the trademark of Chris Sullivan's era at Radar was this, oh, I'm drawing a blank on the year, 14? I think this is a 14. This was the first really big Vapor. The team just kind of took off with this one. This thing was great. I think I skied pretty good on this one. Knowing what I know now, I'd like to go back to this. I think I might set it up a little differently and ski even better, but love that. I'm going to completely draw a blank on the correct years for these two. These were good skis. Before we get to that one, this is the 16. This, and excuse the little bits of tape and notes on it. I cleaned it up a little bit, but this is the first massive year from my perspective. I don't know what the sales guys at Radar say, but to me, this was the year that people were like, holy crap, Radar Vapor. This thing was huge. People loved this ski. I think maybe one of the most viewed threads in the history of Ball Spray was my unboxing of this ski. This was, you know, I think Chris Rossi actually sent me a bottle of scotch based on the amount of exposure we got from this exact ski being unveiled. So that's awesome. I'm gonna say this is the 16. This, for me, this is the breakthrough year. And that brings us to the 24 ski, which I have no pause saying this is the best thing that ever came out of the factory until we see what's in that box. They went from a ski that was known to be really fast and kind of technical to a ski that was a little bit more grippy. I wouldn't say it was more work, but it was just like a little more tactile on the water. I think this is, to date, Chris Rossi's finest work. This 24 ski, which is very similar to this 25 ski we're gonna see here in a minute. This is, I think, a really solid achievement in water ski design. That's an understatement. This is a fantastic ski. And then real quick, a couple side notes. The kid skis, I know this isn't a Vapor, but this is derivative of Vapor. This is actually the TRA, which they took the Senate, which is derivative of Vapor, and they made a little one. They also make a kids, well, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So my daughter, Reagan, also known as Buford Danger, skied amazing on this. She's like, at that age when they're growing so many, you know, they're gaining weight and getting taller and stronger, you can't put them on one ski for like 3 years. So I've been blessed that I've had access to a really broad inventory of skis for Reagan, and this thing was a major milestone for her. And then this last season, before she got hurt on a trampoline, she was riding full-on Radar Vapor in 65. They also make this in a 63 in a kid-specific ski. If you're a parent of a kid skier and they're running buoys, please don't put your kids on old gear or your old gear that's just not sized for them. If you have something that really is appropriate for them, fine. It doesn't have to be the newest stuff, but don't put your kid on a EP stiletto from 1985 and say, oh, they're kids, it's fine. This is a remarkable kid ski if your kids ski a lot. All right, so enough rambling, enough preamble. I was pretty stoked the other day. I opened my text message and I got a message from Mr. Brooks Wilson, and he's like, here's a tracking number. And I'm like, well, actually, I think his phrase was, Happy Vapor Day. So happy Vapor Day to me for freaking sure. Woo! It's the Alpine colors. All right, here it is. So this is the brand new 2025 Radar Vapor. They call this the Alpine. I think the other one that's mostly black, they call the Stealth. Very different graphics. You gotta, whoever the guy is, there's a guy. Brooks is yelling at his computer as he sees this. There's a guy at Radar that all he does is graphics. And he's been doing a great job for a long time. And this is a real departure. This is cool. So you ask yourself, what's the difference between the 24 and the 25? Well, I'm sure there's some secret sauce in Flex Rocker. They're always tweaking. I don't think Chris Rossi sleeps at night unless he's thinking about Flex Rocker, bevels, whatever. But they've also reverted, or they've switched to a slightly different base material, which helps how do I put this? The bevels that Chris Rossi puts into the CAD software are more exactly reflected in the shape of the bevel. Now, this 24 ski, fantastic. And I'm not saying that I can figure out how the base material makes those bevels imperfect on that ski. They claim this is even better. So, I can't say enough about the quality and design of Radar skis. I'm always excited to ride whatever it is that Chris Rossi comes up with. So this is the 2025 Radar Vapor. I assume this is a pro build. I'm sure it is a pro build. Guys, get you one. If you're coming to Nationals, by the way, you should be coming to Nationals. You get to see some in person. That's all I got. We'll talk about this more. I'm going to get some rides on it eventually. And thank you guys.